guys, welcome back to my channel. And today I am going to talk about my experience playing The Last of Us. I am going to try not to spoil too much. When it comes to this, I know it's an older game, and I know probably about 90% of the people that are looking for a Last of Us review have probably already played the game, and they're just like, oh, another person to play the game, talk about it. I know the show's been, bringing in new people too, so just not gonna try to spoil too much. But my overall experience was I put games on super easy. I'm not a big when it comes to gameplay of video games, it's really hard for me to learn like combat stuff if I'm not familiar with it. Like something like Persona or something like Kingdom Hearts or even like games like from those companies, I might put on a harder difficulty just because like I know what to expect. But when it comes to like games like I know I'm just watching this to figure out the story, I will probably put it on an easier mode. So just be kind of aware of that. I'm not really going to talk about gameplay. I don't usually when I talk about video games and stuff like that. I might mention a few things, but this is not like, okay, let's go deep into the gameplay. No. I have to say it was extremely atmospheric. They did such a good job. Sounds like I had to give it up to the overall sound team, music team. Like it was a very atmospheric game, and it was very beautiful. Like it was very like you could see all the rundown. You could see like the past and what like some of these locations probably did look like. Um, but at the end of the day, like this was definitely about Ellie and Joel's adventure, their relationship with each other, things that they go through throughout the story, and that leads to Joel making the final decision that he has to make in the game. And I will probably talk about the ending. I will just put spoilers in. But at the beginning of the game, like you already can tell kind of Joel as what he was before and what he becomes. Very, very quickly in the game. Like you understand like he's lost a lot. He is estranged from his brother for some reason. Um, and he is now kind of like an underground type of person. I'm not sure really what he does. He seems like he just does very odd jobs, and he works with this woman, and there's a society that owes them a lot of weapons, and they're like, okay, we'll give you your weapons, not a big deal, but you have to take this girl to this location. And already you can kind of feel like Ellie's importance like right then and there, cuz you're like, why particularly do these people need to take this girl for all these weapons? And you slowly find out really quickly the situation. So you as a player, when you find out Ellie's immunity, like you're already kind of predicting how the story's going to go. I had a theory like towards the beginning that okay, so she's going to be needing to be used for her DNA, and that's going to be these you know, you know the thing of it. And and that's why they're targeted all the time. I in all honesty, I don't think half the time you're targeted in this game. Anybody knows. It's just like you're another human being and other human beings want to attack you for some reason. That that section when you reach like the big city, I'm going to say, and everybody's wanting you dead. I'm just like, why? Like, and then you find out and you're like, oh, okay, I want out of here. I am not cool with that. That's where I draw my line. Okay, I want out of here. And then you meet the two brothers and that whole shenanigans happens. And then I think the parts I really liked was like really like Joel and Ellie just by themselves. So like the in between sections. So like the parts at the college where they're having to navigate the college. The parts where the lead up points to getting to his brother's place. I don't like the sections with just Ellie. Those frustrated me. And they were really, in all honesty, the scariest parts was with Ellie and that one guy in that restaurant. The rest of the game was pretty. I was surprised, pretty chill. There was a few jump scares. There was a few of those type of things, but what really got under my skin was that guy. And his shenanigans. I don't know what was up with him. And then, and then the hospital at the end. But that was kind of, I felt like that was rushed. I feel like the ending, like you saw the hospital and then you just zoomed there. And then you did a couple of like fights here and there. And then it was like the end of the game. So I feel like there was parts that were extremely slow. Like with the brothers, that felt like it took forever to get nowhere. Like it felt like it was so long. Like the parts like where you were in like more of a cityscape area, like having to navigate all that, I felt too long. It was like the parts where like something cute happened, like the giraffes. Like that was really cute. And I was like, okay, so she's like getting to see a giraffe for the first time. Like stuff that enhanced them personally was stuff like I was looking for in this game. I wasn't really looking for like the cool looking zombies. They were fine. The clickers were obnoxious. Like it was more of like how Ellie and Joel's relationship became being on a journey for so long. And I think this game does like such a good job. So like at the end, spoilers for the end of the game. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're going into spoiler territory. So at the end of the game, when Joel makes that decision to basically, okay, you're not killing Ellie, I'm taking her, we're gonna go run away. So you know that for the rest of his life, he is going to be on the run. As far as what we can tell by the end of this game. Now, if I play the second game, I don't know. It's gonna be a while until I'm like in the mood for a game like that. I went from Spider-Man to this, and I was just like, I should have just played Spider-Man 2, to be honest, or Morales or whatever, because I think I was in more of that type of mood than like let's stealth all over the place. My boyfriend was like laughing at me because I was just not Not enjoying the stealth, guys. That is one thing I can say. If there is more games, if there's more games with stealth, like, um, if there's more games with stealth and stuff, I will probably not be signing up for that. That is not gonna be me. So I'm gonna give it a 7, an 8. An 8 out of 10 overall. And a lot of it was, I think, it was not my type of gameplay. Story-wise, I would give a 10 out of 10. Like, I think storyline is fantastic. If you want the true stuff, like, so I have seen the first 4 episodes of The Last of Us. So I've seen I still feel like it's the famous 3rd episode. And if you don't know, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but in the game, it's alluded to more than it's actually, like, put in your face. And I kind of like that a little bit better. I kind of like that we didn't have this whole tragic story. Because the game, it was already tragic. Like, modern day, in your face, it was already tragic. So, to have it to where that was kind of played down a little bit, kind of made me feel a little bit better. Because I was like, I remember watching that 3rd episode and it destroyed me. And I was like, I don't know if I want to watch more of this. Just because it was so much for me. And I was like, I'm kind of into this to have a fun time. And I was like, okay, this is a little too much. And I watch Game of Thrones and stuff, guys. I'm not too shy about, like, the darker topics, the darker ways of life. Like, I am not shy about that. But it was just way too much in my face for that. And I was just like, I'm good. If this stays at this level, I am not going to watch probably the rest of it. I told my boyfriend, like, I want to try it again. We'll see. But neither me or my boyfriend have played the second game. So we might eventually, one of us might pick it up. We have Halo coming out. I have Trails in the Sky Chapter 2 coming out. We have Persona 4 in the ether somewhere. So we have other games that are coming out that we're a little bit more interested in. So those are probably gonna be games we're gonna more be focusing on. But, like, there's, like, I have Halo maybe in July. That's kind of the date that I keep on seeing around the internet. And then I have Trails in the Sky Chapter 2, like, towards the end of the year. So, unless, like, I get Persona 4 and I know my boyfriend wants to play Golden before the game comes out and I want to finish Golden, and actually, like, play what I call the last semester. If you played Royal, you know what that means, but so, me trying to get into 2, probably not going to be anytime soon. It's a fast game. Like, if you want, like, a fast game that is not going to probably take you, like, a century, like most of my games do, I would suggest it. It was fun for what it was. I had sections that I liked way more than others. The university was probably my favorite section. But it's just, there was a lot of, I feel like, padding. Because it was such a short game to begin with, so they just, like, padded a whole bunch of other things. And I was like, we don't need to pad this. We can have, like, a streamlined, like, 4 or 5 hour experience. It is okay. And I think that's like the problem with like regular PlayStation Sony games. Because there's a little bit of that in Uncharted. Naughty Dog did this and Naughty Dog did Uncharted. And there was some of that in Uncharted too. And I'm like, okay, we can have a 5 hour game. It's really okay. Like some of us that play these giant JRPGs for 80 to 120 hours minimum are okay with a 5 hour experience. I was sitting there through a lot of these areas and I'm like, I have to go through another housing thing and navigate this. This, we could have, I think that was my thing too. Why it's an 8 for me is that you felt the padding. I felt it. And there's probably people that are like, I really like that. I really enjoyed it. I'm a big stealth person. Okay. Not me. And I'm like, I'm looking at my shelf and like looking and I have like 4 Assassin's Creed games. And I kind of want to cry about it. Because I don't get rid of my games unless like they're offensive. Or like they're just kind of bad. Like there's like one game like I would put kind of at that level and that's Code Vein. Like I'm like I don't know if I even want to finish it. And that was kind of my thing, but I'm like okay, I'll get like $5 for this game. Like um but anyway, like and subscribe. I do talk about a lot of other media stuff. I will go back to maybe talking about books eventually. Once I'm reading again, like I will talk about more books. You're probably gonna get a lot more of these type of discussions. Just that's because where I am in life right now is I'm just like enjoying my video game era. But anyway, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I hope to see you in a video coming real soon. Bye.